I thank you all for coming, especially our VIPs and distinguished guests. I know that you're all very, very busy this week. At the United Nations, some 40 blocks north from where we are right now. And without much further ado, let me introduce here a professor of comparative literature and German, and also the Vice Provost for Globalization and Multicultural Affairs, who is going to give us a few introductory words and also to welcome you. Please, Professor Uli Baer.
We're very proud and pleased to be able to host you here today. New York University is the largest private university in the United States, and it is the university located in the most cosmopolitan city in the United States. We're very proud of this fact, and we take great pride that many of our students are taking advantage of our location, which now includes at least 12 campuses around the world. NYU has just opened a portal campus in Abu Dhabi in the United Arab Emirates, where Yaw Nyarko is actually teaching currently, although he's here today. And we have 10 other campuses where 2,800 students spend a semester or a year to study and pursue their degrees at NYU. These campuses are located in Prague, Madrid, Berlin, Paris, London, Shanghai, Tel Aviv, Buenos Aires, Singapore, and importantly, in ways that we consider crucial for the education of our students, a campus in Accra, Ghana. We have our own facilities in Accra. We have over 150 students going every year, so we've had probably several hundred students in the last couple years. We have faculty who teach there, and we partner with local universities. We also have programs in South Africa, and we have short-term programs in Uganda. And NYU considers it crucial for our students to be educated about the world at large and the role that they can play in this world. Africa is clearly very much on the map for NYU, and I'm very pleased to welcome you here. I don't want to take any more of your time, but just say that we are very grateful you're taking this time to convene here. We are very happy to be the host of this important event, and I want to thank especially Professor Nyarko and Africa House for organizing this. I also want to extend the welcome from President John Sexton, who is at the Global Clinton Initiative today and regrets that he couldn't be here today, and from our Provost, David McLaughlin. So thank you very much and welcome to NYU.
Again, I thank you all for coming. Here at NYU, we have a large number of faculty and students keenly interested in affairs of Africa. Many of our faculty, many of our students, honorable ministers, AU commissioners, I'll have you know that they're all working very hard on the MDGs, Millennium Development Goals, analyzing them, criticizing them, constructing the numbers. Africa House is very happy to partner with the Africa Travel Association, and today we're going to be putting the spotlight on tourism. To continue, however, I'm going to call up a good friend, a partner, somebody who has a wonderful call-in program at CNN. He has a weekly program also at CNN. He is the chief business correspondent at CNN. And you all know this is a university, and we professors and students, we like books. And he has this wonderful book here. You guys can't see it, but it's a very pretty picture of him there and a wonderful haircut he has there, So give me my money back. If you want to know anything about the financial crisis, anything about economics and finance, this is the book to read. And I'll have you all know that I'm going to be recommending this book to my students in Abu Dhabi on Monday. They don't know that yet, but they're going to get it as part of the homework. So please help me welcome our good friend and partner, Ali Velshi, who is going to be moderating the event today. Ali, please. Great book, Ali.
That book was written, by the way, as a result of the financial crisis that really hit its stride about 2 years ago. In fact, 2 years ago this very day, we were in remarkable turmoil. The collapse of Lehman Brothers on the 14th of September had thrown us into that turmoil, and then we were in discussions about what would be done about it. And on September 19th, 2 years ago, the U.S. Congress, in a surprise move late in the afternoon, turned down the bailout plan. And as you recall, that day the Dow dropped 777 points. It was subsequently, the end of that time, and I write about it in the book, was October 3rd, Friday, October the 3rd, the equivalent of which would be next Friday. That's when the Senate passed the revised bailout plan, and in fact, the worst of the panic ended. The crisis was to continue for a very long time with jobs lost, banks failing, and things like that. But so this was the week in between those two things. Congress had said no to this money going to the banks, and the end was not in sight. We didn't know what it was going to be. And in fact, tomorrow night, Oliver Stone's movie comes out, Wall Street Money Never Sleeps, and I have a little role where I play myself in that movie. So this was just a long way of saying that I'm in a movie and you should go see it. But it does recapture those times. Fortunately, we are in better times. We are not only in better times in the United States, but we are specifically in better times in Africa. And I'll tell you, I think there have been two turning points for Africa. One of them was the World Cup. And I think a big round of congratulations both to South Africa and to Ghana. We have a representative here from Ghana. Congratulations for making Africa proud and for making the world sit up and take notice in a way that they haven't been. Now, all of you, many of you have taken notice of Africa for some time and have seen Africa as opportunity, where in many cases people have not seen Africa as opportunity. I think that is turning on an interesting level, and it's got a lot to do with where the center of gravity has shifted in the world. So while we are paying great attention to Russia and China and India and Brazil and other countries, the smart money has already figured that out. Smart retail investors already know to invest in China. Smart CEOs have been doing this for some time. Smart little kids are learning Hindi and Mandarin and Portuguese and Russian. What the really smart money is doing is they are realizing that the new growth potential and the untapped growth potential is going to come from Africa. A growth in consumerism will come from Africa. A growth in investment opportunity will come from Africa. So I guess to some degree, you are all at an advantage for having been in on the ground floor of something that is now becoming much more important. The other thing is, as the renewed focus comes in on the Millennium Development Goals, some of them we're behind on, some of them we're ahead on, and some of them, which affect Africa in the greatest way, are actually, it's foreseeable that we may have solutions to some of those in the next 5 years. The eradication of poverty or cutting poverty, global poverty in half, the idea that of accessible clean water, I mean, these are now popular discussions. These are not discussions that are just left to ivory towers. Anyway, we're going to have a fantastic discussion with our panelists in a little while. I just wanted to offer you my greetings to start with, and I want to introduce you to Eddie Bergman. I always have the occasion to introduce Eddie. I have never introduced Eddie to anybody he doesn't already know and who doesn't already know him, so it's a kind of a useless job, but I keep getting invited, so I'll keep coming. Eddie Bergman is the executive director of the Africa Travel Association. Eddie is he is somebody who is fascinated by Africa and has remarkable ties to Africa. And as somebody like me who has 3 generations from Africa, I'm always shamed by the fact that Eddie always knows more about Africa than I do. But I want to have Eddie come up and say a few words to you. Eddie?